Okay, scrappers. Today I'm going to be scrapping out a whole bunch of cell phones. Just getting them prepared for gold recovery, just bring them down to boards like this. I figured that since I'm waiting for the next hard rubbish or the main season to actually start, which is about a month's time, so I thought I might as well catch up on a lot of stuff that I've got hanging around and yeah, get it down to where I want it, you know, to basic circuit board stage, and from there I'll just leave them until I'm ready to actually recover the gold. So I've got a whole bunch of cell phones here and I've been slowly processing them. What I have done, I've already removed all the screws, or most of the screws, so it's just a matter of popping them open and taking out the boards and the little gold recovery bits, pins and stuff like that. And yeah, it's just one of those things that I had to get done. A while ago I'd done all my hard drives, so I've caught up on that. I've just got boards stashed away. So now it's time to get rid of some of these cell phones that have been building up over time. And I don't get as many cell phones anymore, so yeah, it'll be a good time now just to get through them. So that's what I'm going to be doing today, and I thought I'd just take you along for a bit of a ride. Nothing spectacular, just yeah, just processing these cell phone boards. We'll get to have a look at different kinds of boards inside different phones. A lot of these phones are actually Motorola, so you know, very much similar stuff. Got a lot of these older, sorry, did I say Motorola? I meant Nokia. Some of these older Nokias, so they've got pretty good boards. I think that's an older Nokia board, so pretty good. And yeah, and just pretty much scrap out everything that we can get for gold recovery, and that'll be one job out the way. So I'll get started. And as I said, this is going to take me pretty much all day, so I'm going to have a few drinks and a bit of food as I go along with this, because I don't want to leave this pile unfinished at the end of today. So so yeah, let's make a start. Okay, so let's get this job underway. And so aside from the actual boards, obviously we've got a lot of little pins, little gold pins and stuff like that that we need to remove from the outer casing. This one's also got a SIM card. Not that SIM cards are really got very good gold recovery, but we still keep them, you know, rather than throwing them out. But yeah, I mean, cell phones are a little bit like laptops, where they're a bit of a process, but you know, we get there slowly. It's yeah, quite fiddly. And with these Nokias, especially the old Nokias, they're pretty good gold recovery, a lot better than their new style cell phones. So, okay, we've still got flashing gold flash, or ENIG, but it's a little bit better than the modern style flashing. Like, for instance, here you see this blue board, and the gold flashing is even lighter. So these blue boards are not as good gold recovery from the actual boards, aside from obviously the chips, but the gold on the boards aren't that spectacular. But it still all adds up. But the green boards, the gold is much better flashing. It's a little bit thicker. So if this might be, say, 8 parts per million, this will be like 24 parts per million. So there's quite a bit more. Even the, you know, like this one here, it's got, all this is gold flashed. And so, yeah, it's light gold recovery, but it's better than like I said, if it was a blue board, it would be quite a bit less. So this one's a bit hard to get through. So I want to take off as much rubbish just to save me later on. But yeah, this is pretty much quite a basic board, but it does have quite a lot of flashing there. And as I said, don't discount all these little pins, because the gold pins that you get out of, you know, so like out of here, there, you got those little gold pins. That's actually better gold plating than this gold plating here, because this is actual real gold plating. This is ENIG, or gold flashing. So because they're contacts, they need to be, you know, it needs to be a heavy gold plating so they don't wear out. So all I do here, these generally just kind of pop out, and so I just pop these little things out and usually got a couple of little contact pins that I'll try and pry out. Sometimes they break, but yeah, so like all that sort of stuff I keep, obviously. And just these little gold pins here, they're solid gold plated, like, you know, like fully gold plated. And so you do get good recovery out of these kind of pins here. These probably not so much, but these pins as well, they're not bad. Every phone is a little bit different. All right, so a very common one that I've got are these Nokias, the little Nokias, or Nokia, however you want to pronounce it. Yeah, these are pretty good, these ones. So I've got quite a lot of these, and as I said, I've already started removed all the screws. But the first thing I wanted to talk about, obviously, is these little silver pins, pads. Now these pads aren't silver. They're I can't remember what they are, but they're not silver. So don't worry about these. Don't bother taking these, even though they are contacts and they do contact onto the gold. They're not silver at all. So don't waste your time with these little silver pads. All you want is these gold pads here, right? So I'll just get this out. So as you can see, that old Nokia, check that out. You know, that's a beautiful looking board there, and it's gold plating. Sorry, it's gold flashing, but it's a heavier gold flashing. Remember I showed you like a blue board. It's a different gold flash, and so when you see blue boards, especially modern cell phones, it's a lot lower gold recovery. If you do just the green boards, you're going to have a really high gold recovery rate. And so we've got, you know, BGA chips here that are also going to be high yield gold recovery, and the gold banded crystal oscillator, the ceramic base. You treat them just like you would treat a ceramic CPU. So even though we don't get many ceramic CPUs anymore, we're still getting these crystal oscillators, and they're awesome. Really good gold recovery rate. And so there we go. And so again, because it's a green board, these pads here are actually a better gold flash than if it was a blue board. So yeah, I don't have a blue board yet with gold flashing, or maybe I do. Okay, so under this white tape here, we should have our little gold pads. Well, in this case, we don't. You see, so that's not silver, and as you can see here, we don't even have gold pads. So that's the thing with blue boards. Blue boards are more modern boards, very little gold gold plating, gold recovery, but the chips are still good. The pins are still good. Like you can see these pins here, these are not flashed. These are gold plated. And so these are really good pins. Okay, you'll probably get as much gold out of these pins than you would out of these BGA chips. So anyway, so that's quite a pretty little board. And obviously to process this for gold recovery, we want to remove everything off this board. We want these BGAs and all that. We want to keep everything, especially like the MLCCs on cell phones are usually class 1 MLCCs, so they're the highest grade. And yeah, so, but yeah, we even want to get all this gold, so we want to completely depopulate this and then put it in solution or whatever. Yeah, some people try and get this green mask off. It's up to you if you want to try and get that green off. Just depends how far you want to go with your gold recovery. So we've got usually in the cell phones, they might have a little camera or a CCD sensor. So we've got a little bit of gold there. It's very small, very fiddly, but this one here is actually on like it's just on a little bit of ribbon. You can barely notice it, but it's up to you how far you want to go. But we definitely want to get these pins here. And like I said, they just pop out. So we want to get all these kind of pins. And we got, you know, pretty okay gold recovery there. They may not be fully plated. They may be just partial pins, but that's okay. We just put them into the partially plated pins box. And yeah, once again here, we always got these two little contact pins. They're always going to be good for gold recovery, and a couple of little basic partially plated pins here. But these are the main ones that we want out of this little section. Yeah. So it's a bit fiddly, but they're the ones we want to go for. So for now, I just put all those little fiddly bits away, and I'll just keep processing my my cell phones to bring it down to a more manageable level. So yeah, this is going to take pretty much all day. This one I haven't taken off the screws, so bear with me until I do a couple more screws. But most of these phones I've actually taken off the screws, so they're going to be it's going to be a lot quicker as I go along. Okay, so all right, we've got a SIM card here. Again, we can keep the SIM card. Low gold recovery, but it all adds up. And the only thing we've got here is this little section here. A couple of little bits of gold plating here. Not a great deal, but again, it all adds up. That's done. I won't take off all these shields, but obviously we want to, when we start getting into the nitty-gritty of actual gold recovery, we want to remove, obviously we're going to be removing all these shields anyway. And so average board, other side, we've got the keypads. Take off the LCD screen. If you're into recycling, you can put all these into a box and send them off to LCD recycling. Take off our little white keypad tape. So again, just rubbish. And we've got okay gold flashing here. But definitely in, you know, when you see a board like this, gold flash, yep, green, it's good. but still we're going to get much more gold recovery out of the IC chips, obviously, and even out of the pins. Okay, this is a weird one. Because there's so many different phones and so many, models and shapes, they all open up a little bit differently. And obviously they're going to have hidden screws. Okay. Yeah, so this one looks okay. Again, a little bit of gold plating there we want to get out from the camera thing, and already cut myself. And these little pins here where the battery terminals are, so they're always going to be good gold recovery, because it's hard to see if the camera actually can see everything, but yeah, these will be good for gold recovery because we're always sliding in batteries and stuff like that, so the contacts need to be quite heavy gold plating. So one. So those gold pins there, we put that in the, we can put that into fully plated pins. It's a slightly different process than partially plated. LCD screen. And obviously this kind of steel, some of this can be stainless steel. This case, it may be a coated stainless steel, but as you can see, it sticks on the magnet. So it's just, might as well just throw it into scrap steel. Okay, so we've got two little sections to this board. Put that away. So obviously just gold flashed. Nothing really to write home about, but it's still gold flashing, and it's better because it's on green. We've got the tape underneath. We want to get rid of this tape pretty quick. I need a band-aid already. And yes, I should be wearing gloves, but I prefer not to if I can. Okay, so again, just rubbish, it's not silver, and we've got some really nice little keypads there. So this board, once we remove a few of these little plastic bits, it's pretty much ready to go. Gold flashing, so we can put this into solution and go for it. The main board, that's the back side, so we've got, take this tape off. So we've got, yep, again, gold flashing. We've got nice BGA chips here, high gold recovery, and some little bits and pieces on there. So not a bad board. Some gold pins on the end there, which are pretty good. So yeah, not bad. A blackberry. Now blackberries are a little bit difficult to scrap out. They're a little bit complicated, some of them. It's been a while since I've done blackberries. So we'll just try and get our way through. Okay, well so far I can see we've got quite a lot of little pins here that we want to remove. and put it in our box. So quite a lot, you know, it doesn't, you know, look like much, but again, it all adds up. So, you know, I just put this away, and when I'm ready for gold recovery one day, I'll fiddle with this. You know, this is kind of hobby level gold recovery. It's very time consuming, but if you just want to get, you know, as much gold as you can, this all adds up. We do have 2 good little pins in there. So the, you know, that's, you know, just it. Obviously the main thing we want from cell phones is the main board, but don't discard all those little pins, because we've got some good stuff there. But this is quite a involved, intense looking board. The shields on all of them. Just give an example. Like I said, I don't want to, I'm not going to bother taking all these shields off until I'm actually ready for the gold recovery, because it would just take too long, and I just want to get everything done. But to give you an example, we've got quite a chunky BGA chip there. So quite good chips on these blackberries. And actually very good gold flashing on this blackberry board, so you can see that's beautiful. You know, to me, quite a lot to depopulate off this board. This might, you know, probably be best to depopulate in a hot sand bath. That way you can just knock them off, knock all the chips off, and give yourself a really nice clean board for gold recovery, and all those chips are going to be pretty damn good too. So yeah, blackberry, really, really good. What do we got here? Just another Nokia, whatever you want to call them, doesn't matter. We're scrapping them, we're not selling them, so we don't need to know the real name. Look at that. Really nice board. You know, really, really good BGA chips all there. Even tantalum capacitor, lots of little MLCCs. Really nice crystal oscillator. Gold band, high grade. All these little pins, all good stuff. Look at those, you know, really good gold pins. So it don't really matter how you get them out. You can be rough as guts as long as you get them out, and we'll process them. But a lot of these all just popped out. You know, so all this is good stuff here. Some of these pins are quite high grade gold plating. Really good. Don't see if you can see it. See that little gold pin there? That's a really nice little gold pin. It all adds up, guys. Okay, and the board itself, well, we've still got some screws there. Yeah, it's probably one of the most time-consuming things with these cell phones. It's very much like a laptop where, you know, you're undoing a lot of screws, and it's, you know, if you're going by hourly rate or something like that, you know, well, obviously it's not going to be, it's not going to pay very well. But what do? Do you just throw away your cell phones? I mean, it's all gold there, and for most people that are into basic level gold recovery, it's more for fun and the hobby and the thrill of the getting your gold. So we just got some little gold fingers there that I'll take off later. So there's the back of the board with the keypads. Really good looking board. Green board, so it's obviously, you know, it's going to be high grade. We've got high grade BGA chips. Can't ask for much more than that. Yeah, really good. Okay, just another Nokia. I'm actually surprised at how many Nokias I got. It wasn't until I started undoing all the screws I realised, geez, one Nokia after the other. So obviously, or Nokia phones were very popular in these days before the smartphones. So obviously we're going to have a lot of these. That's just yeah. It looks like it's kind of goldy, but it's not. It's just a reflection of the roof. So all we want out of this is the two little gold pins here, or a couple here, but the two main contact pins. All right, so I'll just keep them like that for now. See, those two little pins there. Fiddly, but very good for gold recovery. Okay. So yeah, same board. Very pretty little board. Rubbish. Same again. So, excellent gold recovery. Okay. Another one of these old style Nokias. Double board. Excellent value here. So when you see these old Nokias, yeah, these bigger ones. What's this? It's the 5110. Really good value for gold recovery. You see these, don't pass them up. Two boards. And because they're green boards, obviously they're going to be good. Now, when you see screws and they look gold, they're brass screws. They're not gold plated screws. They're not going to gold plate screws. All right. And also, see inside here where the screws actually screw into, you got little round threads in there that look like they're gold. They're just brass. They're not gold. So don't worry about them. You don't want to put them in with your gold recovery stuff because you're just going to mess stuff up. you know, you're just going to contaminate your good stuff. But this board is magnificent. Really, really nice. And this board here, I can already see straight away that these contact pads here are much better gold recovery than say even these. Probably, I can't really see for sure, but definitely remember the blue board. It's the green board's always going to be heavier flashing than the blue board. You know, you might be able to see the difference there alone. So old boards is where it's at. You know, so if you're buying cell phone boards like on eBay, or you see someone wants to sell you a bag of cell phone boards and you see that they're mostly blue, don't buy them, or you know, unless they're super cheap. And I'm talking about peripheral grade boards. You don't want to pay anywhere near a cell phone board price for blue boards. If the majority, if there are, you know, a few mixed in, well, that's okay. But if the majority are blue, be careful, because you know, you're not going to get very good gold recovery. And when someone's trying to sell cell phone boards, there's usually a reason. They don't sell cell phone boards because they're getting boards like this or like that. You know, you're not going to get many of them in the pile. So you got to be careful when you're buying cell phone boards. Personally, I don't buy cell phone boards myself unless they're all boards like that. Then I'll pay a high premium. If they're just things like that, forget about it. But in combination, these two boards are, you know, what a, you know, beautiful little package, you know. So this one's virtually totally clean, so we can process this. As I said, some people, we've still got some MLCCs around the ends. Some people try and remove that mask. Yeah, you can. They can be fully flashed. If you want to go through that, spend the time and remove this green mask and try and get, you know, like this side will most likely be all flashed, but it's up to you. This board here requires total depopulation, both sides. Okay, because it's an older board, there's not many BGA chips, so there's no BGA chips there, and it's just one there. It's the only BGA, but the other chips are still good. Older board, better chips, better gold recovery, so that's about as good as it gets. So from one cell phone, beautiful, what a score. Okay, that's a strange Nokia, or Nokia, or Nokia, or I don't know. Some people have commented, that's not how you say Nokia or Nokia or Nokia. I said, oh, well, you know what I'm talking about, don't you? This one's got quite a few screws. As you can see, I've got so many phones here. This is going to take like all day. I reckon about 6, 7, maybe even 8 hours. But I've got, you know, it's a beautiful morning again here today in Melbourne. It's unbelievable. We've had some great weather, and I've got nothing else I want to do today. All I want to do is get rid of these cell phones. So I don't mind putting in a little bit of work and getting rid of these. Okay, that looks kind of interesting. It's a blue board. No, it's a green, sorry. Just looked a little bit different under the reflection. But this is the first time I've ever done one like this. Okay, it's funny because it's got, this is green and that's blue. So, two different coloured boards. Okay. So it's just light flashing on that end and reasonably light flashing on that. But we'll just put it all with the stuff so you can see if there's any difference. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at it really closely. Okay. Nothing there. And now for our main show. Want these pins. Probably the good thing about these kind of pins on these cell phones is that they just pop out. So at least there's not a whole heap of work trying to get them out. But I'll keep them. So we've got quite a few BGA chips here, which is always nice. Tiny little MLCCs, but you know, if you depopulate these boards in a sand bath and you can tap off everything, you know, you want to keep all those tiny little MLCCs because they're going to be class 1 MLCCs. And the other side here, got a lot of shield. Yeah, so a bit of work here. It's an interesting board. It all adds up. So what have we got next? Next, this is a Philips. Interesting. So again, these little screw mounts, they look like they're gold. Some people, you know, I've been asked over the years, are they gold, those little things in there? No, they're just brass. So don't bother even taking them out unless you want to take them out for the brass. It's up to you. I used to think that these tabs were silver, or at least silver plated. They're not. So maybe in the really old vintage cell phones. Green board, not bad. Keep all that. Yeah, the Philips, nothing special here. You know, I do like those 2 little gold pins there, or 4 little pins. See, can you see that? The depth of that gold, it's just, they have to be gold plating and quite heavy gold plating, just so, because they're contacts, otherwise if they were just flashing they would wear out after a few contacts. Okay, Nokias, oh, so many Nokias. This one fell apart. Wow, that's an interesting board. It's a really, really nice board. It's got lots of great chips on it, lots of pins, tantalum capacitors. But check out that, it's a aluminium capacitor. That's giant. So I might as well take that off. You know, quite large MLCCs, little tantalums, big tantalums. It's got everything, that one. Hey, Nokia flip top. This will be interesting. So far it already looks good underneath the screen. There are 2 boards. This one looks pretty good. Got the that's pretty sexy, that. I like that little one. Doesn't look too bad, does it? Quite nice. Still got good sized tantalum capacitors. Very surprising that they put such big tantalum capacitors on such a little board. But we've got nice BGAs, tiny little MLCCs that are, you know, going to be really good for palladium and silver. And the other side, bit plain there. It's the LCD. So this one's a little bit plain, but we do have a little camera here. We usually got a bit of gold recovery in the camera too. Okay, well I've just cleared the table a little bit, just so I can have a little bit of a snack whilst I'm working. I'm getting very hungry, so I thought I'd get me make myself a bit of a cheese platter spread. And I'll continue working. And I thought I might try a bit of some nice white wine while I'm having my spread. So it's a good Pinot Gris from New Zealand. Okay, that's better. I feel more comfortable in scrapping now. I'm starving, so this will tie me over until lunchtime anyway. Have you seen these grapes? Check out the size of the grapes. Are they the biggest grapes you've ever seen? Like, that's an olive, and that's the grapes. You grow pretty amazing grapes. Yeah. I'm slowly getting there, but we've got a lot of phones, and right hand. Nice fig jam. This looks like a good board. Actually, I've got my chicken, one of my chickens is standing right next to me, and this chicken loves cheese. So I'll give a bit of cheese to my little chook. Here you go. Not a bad little board. So I'm a little bit further out this time, so it's a good one. There. That's a weird one, Kyocera. Two boards, bonus. Little pins. Quite a nice little board too. Look at those, the gold band crystal oscillators. Really nice and long ones. That's a good one. Little prosciutto. Dolomites, the Greek style. Grape leaves and rice inside. Oh. So it's just ribbon wire with gold pin or pads flashed. No. Tell you, this fig jam is amazing. So, made in Croatia, that one. Pretty good one then. Really funny grapes. I can graze on food like this all day if I wanted to. Normally, you know, that's all I really need. Just, you know, different salamis and hams, a couple of different cheeses, some veggies, some little bit of sweet, some nuts. I can eat this all day. And I might. Camembert. just carbon pads, no gold. Wow, for a Nokia, that's about as plain a board I've ever seen. Not much on that one. Nice. Nice BGAs. All little gold recovery bits. LG. Look at that. All gold flashed. That's quite a nice board actually. Very pretty. Might be one to keep. It's a bit of a collectible. Look at that. All flashed. Nokia flip top. Still got this bit. Just a little board. So yeah, I don't know how this video is going to turn out. Whether it's going to be interesting, I'll probably end up editing a whole lot out of this video. But as you can see, there's so many cell phones here, it's going to take me all day, so I've got to eat. You know, as you know, scrapping for me is mostly about fun, you know. So this is my idea of fun. Not much on this one. No. There's so many Nokias. Can't get over how many Nokia phones. Nokia. Might do this Motorola next. This ribbon wire again. It's got some gold throughout there. Gold pads. All right. Well, I'll just finish up here. And we'll get back to some serious cell phone scrapping. Well, it doesn't really look like I'm getting through this pile very quickly. I've been going at it, you know, a lot of hidden screws, so I've just had to, you know, still do a lot of unscrewing, even though most of the screws I took away. So I'm getting there. I had a few too many wines, so I need to refuel with some food. So I'm getting there slowly, and got quite a decent pile of boards now. So yeah, I'm just having a little 5-minute break so I can I've just been sitting down for a long time trying to process all these, so but we're certainly getting there, and yeah, it's been good. So I'll just keep going, and got my chicken sort of, you can see the backside of my chicken there, just sitting under the chair with me. He likes a bit of company, she. So there must be still 100 or so laptop cell phones to go, and I don't even want to look. I've got a little barrel at the back there that's probably got some more cell phones, so I don't want to go and look there yet. I just want to get through this pile as long as it takes, because I don't want to just leave it how it is and just put them back, you know. It's too easy to put them back. So I want to get this done, and I think I'm going to have a bit of lunch now. So yeah, I'll have a few little things and a couple of beers. So I think I'm going to have a bit of an international themed lunch. I'm going to do an Australian lunch, an American lunch, and a German lunch. So we'll see how that goes. Just 3 different foods, 3 different beers, and then later on towards the end of the day I might do a British dinner, good old fish and chips. So alright, so I'll get back to this and start processing a few more cell phones once I've made my first stage of lunch. Okay, here's my lunch, or one third of my lunch. The classic Australian meat pie. Basically, it's just a pastry, and inside you got your hot gravy beef meat, and that's our meat pie. Pretty cool, hey? And what goes with meat pie is tomato sauce. Look at that. Fit for a king. 4 and 20 classic meat pie. So that's stage 1 of lunch, and obviously an Aussie meat pie, we've got to go for a good Aussie beer. So just a good old VB, beer of choice for many Australians, obviously aside from your craft beers and stuff like that. Obviously there's some nice beers, there's some nice international beers, but standard, I live in Victoria, and this is what most Victorians drink, and a lot of people around Australia like to drink it. Good bitter. All right, So yeah. I think I needed the beer more than I needed the actual pie. And so nice steamy hot pie. When you're at the football here in Australia, this is what you have. So usually football is mostly played in winter, nice and cold, nothing like a good hot pie. Okay, so I'm going to keep going here. I'm going to just finish off my nice pie. I'm going to keep scrapping and I want to get to the end of these cell phones. But a lot of Nokias, amazing, can't get over. I've got a few kind of smartphones, HTC mainly. I'll scrap a few of them out. Oh, big Nokia. This one will be good. That's it. It's just one big ribbon wire with some gold contact pads. That's basically like a circuit board. It's weird, eh? Big aluminium capacitor. That's a nice big board. So basically that's it. Samsung. We can get into it. Wow, it's a very intense board. A lot going on. Samsung. Pretty intense that side. All right, well, we're really getting there now. I reckon I'm well over halfway, and yeah, not too many left. It's been good. So me boards are building up. Some nice variations of boards. So that's pretty good too. And so and I've filled up one big tub of cell phone scrap, and yeah, I've gotten most of the bits. There are a few little bits of gold. I might go through it as I'm throwing it out, but basically this is all just going to go as scrap steel or something. Just fill up a microwave or something with it. So that's that. Okay, I'll keep going and try and finish off these, but I'm going to go for our next stage of lunch now, so we'll get onto that. American style this time. Okay, well, can you guess what my second stage of lunch is? It's American style. So this is all I could think of American style. It's a hot dog with grated cheese, obviously. Now that's it. That's second stage of my lunch. So just to finish it off, actually, I might put the cheese on. Yummy. So this is what I think of when I think of America, or having lunch in America anyway. Can't go past a hot dog. Obviously we want a bit of ketchup. And American mustard. That's perfect. And obviously it wouldn't be a complete American lunch without a good American beer. I don't know if it's really good, but it's I don't mind this beer. Budweiser. Bud. King of beers, they reckon. It's not bad. It's I think they go good with hot dogs. Okay. I needed this. Yeah, it's not bad. It's like it's a little bit different to Australian beer. Australian beer seems a little bit stronger in flavour, in depth. This is a bit lighter, but it's the full strength, 4.9% alcohol. So it's the same as Australian, I think. Well, actually, it might be less. Okay, let's get into this hot dog. That's good. That's mighty fine. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get through this. Hopefully I'll have this finished by dinner time. Yeah. It's taken me a while. I've had quite a bit of a run between drinks. Yeah. And I got the third stage of lunch coming up soon too. And So far we've done Continental, cheese platter, all that kind of stuff, wine. Then we did Australian, got American. So my next stage of lunch is going to be German. So can you guess what the German lunch will be? Or my variation of a German lunch? I'll just finish this beer. Might scrap out a blackberry this time. And I'm already ready for the next stage of lunch. These blackberries are put together quite strong compared to everything else. Yeah, they really put them together hard. It's not a bad board. Blackberry. God, I've got a lot of these in the Kias. These older ones, the larger ones, got heaps of them. I've done more than I thought I'd have to be doing. Some of these still got the screws, but double boards. After you've done a few of them, you get used to what you got to go for, so it's a little bit quicker, you know. Another double whammy. Yay. All right, well, I'll keep going and I'll see you when my German lunch is ready. Okay, well, we're slowly getting there. I think by dinner time we'll be finished. So our third and final stage of lunch, to top it all off, German style, a bratwurst sausage, and obviously we can't go past the Tommy horseradish. It's about the best horseradish you can buy here in Australia, unless you grow your own like I do, but my horseradish just isn't ready at the moment. So, and then it wouldn't be a German sausage without sauerkraut. I like to fry my sauerkraut in butter. Oh, look at that. Nothing like it. Want to get my horseradish. I like it nice and spicy. Oh yeah. And I like a bit of tomato sauce. Just a little bit of mustard. Throw this out. All right. Wow. Now that is my idea of German lunch. Bratwurst, sauerkraut, horseradish, sauce and mustard. Wow, that's awesome. And my beverage of choice, German style. It's a nice German beer. Schofferhofer. I don't know how to pronounce it, but Schofferhofer. It's Hefeweizen. Hefeweizen. I think that's cloudy. I like cloudy beer. So we try a nice German beer. All right. But because it's a big half a litre, 500 ml, and it's Germany, I prefer to drink my German beer out of a glass. So I got myself a big glass, nice cold, straight out of the fridge. This is my Oktoberfest in Australia, 1990. So 28 years ago, it was the Melbourne Oktoberfest, and that was my souvenir. 25 years later, I've still got it. 1990. Need some good old German music to go with this. And no, I'm not German. Look at that. Hey, perfect. You can see the beer, it's nice and cloudy. It's just a little bit different, you know, I like a cloudy beer sometimes. Okay. Prost. Yeah. Oh yeah. Ja, das ist gut. Prost. Whew. I'm getting a little bit tipsy. I hope I can finish the cell phones before I fall asleep. So yeah, I reckon I'll be done here by the time I get to dinner time. So it's kind of worked out pretty good. Oh, yep, I'm definitely getting tipsy. Yeah, it's very interesting. It's a good beer to can taste the hops. Okay. I'll keep going. Scrap out all these cell phones. And before the beer kicks in, because it's probably not a good idea to start off with wine, then go over to beer. I think it's a bit better doing it the other way around. Okay, I'm going to finish all these off now. I'll see you soon. Okay, well, I've finally finished all this. Finally. All cell phones done. So, yay. Starting to get a bit late. I've got all my boards at least ready to go. I've got a whole heap of gold recovery stuff. Little bits of pins, little bits and pieces that I'll put away for another day. So that's it. So awesome. Okay, well, I've worked up a bit of an appetite now, so I'm going to have a bit of dinner. I just got some delivered, or got someone to go and pick it up for me. So the last stage of my banquet today is just a standard UK dinner or lunch dinner. Good old fish and chips. Look at the size of that fish. It's I don't know, the whole size of the box. That's one massive piece of fish. It's remember that glass? It's about 10 inches long, about 3.5 inches wide, and some chippies. So I'm going to get into them. My classic UK dinner. Still missing a few bits. My beer selection. It's not English, but it's kind of English style. Stout. But I prefer the Cooper's Brewery Australian Stout. It's extra strong, higher in alcohol, and I don't mind a stout, especially with fish and chips. Nice, strong, dark beer. Even though Guinness is Scottish anyway, but if I'm in England, I prefer to drink stout. So just got to get some sauce. Okay. Nice wad of tomato sauce, and we can't forget the pickled onions. I like a good pickled onion with me fish and chips. A couple of them. All right. So yeah, the scrap turned out to be pretty good. It took me all day. So quite a few hours there, probably 6-7 hours. It's getting a bit dark now. We had a really nice sunny morning. Then it got really overcast and dark. Then it went sunny again. And yeah, it's turned out okay. So, cheers. Oh, some of this fish. Some our fish here in Australia, like in England, I think it's based on cod, but we have shark, gummy shark. So gummy shark makes the best fish. Well, fish and chip shop fish anyway, in my opinion. So I'm really glad I got rid of all that. Wow. I suppose it's going to be quite a while till I get another batch of cell phones like this. Probably never. If I've still got some stashed away. I'm not looking forward to getting them, but what I'm going to do is, as I get them now, I'm just going to scrap them as I go, and just put them away like that. So I don't sell cell phone boards. You know, some people might, you know, prefer to just sell them. I just like to stockpile them for gold recovery. Whether I recover the gold or not is another thing. You know, that's for way down in the future. So it doesn't really bother me. Now that they're like that, can always sell these for gold recovery, whether to another board buyer or just sell it like on eBay or something like that to a refiner. But yeah, as I said, a lot of the blue boards aren't that very good, but the majority here are all green boards, you know, old Nokias. So a lot better value, a lot better gold recovery in the green. Some of the blues are okay, but you know, like that's blue, this is kind of bluey green. That's off a blackberry, so that's going to be a good one. But things like that, those pads are very light, flashed, So there's not much gold on those pads. It's more in the IC chips and the BGAs. But yeah. So that's it. Well guys, I hope that was a bit of fun for you. Cell phones certainly take a long time to scrap out. Very tedious job. But I suppose if you do them as you get them, it's a lot easier. You don't really notice how long it takes. And as I mentioned, they're a little bit like laptops. You build them up too much, you got yourself a real big job. But well, it took me all day, but it was worth it. Yeah, you know, I've had a few beers. I've had a lot to eat today. Just to maintain my strength so I can get through these, just make it a little bit fun and interesting, you know. I thought I'd just throw in a video of me doing all this today. You know, probably not very exciting, but it's something a little bit different anyway, you know, rather than the same old scrapping thing. But I did mention that in about 4 weeks' time, the hard rubbish starts again. So, so there'll be a lot more street scrapping videos. So in between that, for the next 4 weeks, I'm just going to sort of catch up on stuff here and do a few basic videos. Going to be doing a microwave video soon on a couple of different types of microwaves. But you know, a time trial with servers probably come up next, and yeah, just things like that until the hard rubbish comes along next month, and then we'll get back into doing street scrap. All right guys, well, hope that was fun. Keep scrapping, and I'll catch you next time soon.